The second part of this video, I do want to say that it's a lot about communication. Relationships are about trust, communication, respect, and more importantly, um, acts of service. The reason why I want to say acts of service is because even though there are the five love languages, which are words of affirmation, physical touch, gift giving, acts of service, and I think the last one is probably spending time with one another, quality time. But the funny thing is, I read somewhere where every single one of those love languages is pretty much acts of service, right? Acts of service in terms of, well, you're literally doing something for them, so that's an act of service. Physical touch, well, you're doing them a favor, so touching is pretty much acts of service. Gift giving, you're acts of service. You're giving them something. That's an act of service. Service, yeah. Quality time, that's also an act of service, right? You're literally spending your time, which is a man's most important resource. And the fifth one, which is words of affirmation, which is also a service act of service. So what I'm trying to say is, even though all of those things are important, respect, boundaries, trust, all those acts of services, they all need to be there for the relationship to prosper, right? To grow. I feel that sometimes it's okay to have delinquencies and confusion and hiccups in a relationship. I think that's okay. But as long as you're able to withstand those struggles and continue to fight for what you believe in, most importantly, I think that's okay. But I also feel that it's more important to invest into yourself. I feel that it's important to invest into yourself because ultimately you are with yourself for the rest of your life. Partners can change, love can change, things can change. Nothing is permanent because technically you are already naked. You technically don't have anything. Nothing is truly yours. So, truly, there's nothing really to lose, only your time and your resources, which resources can be brought back. Money can be earned back, but your time every second it goes by. So, your time is the most valuable. And if you wake up the very next day and you're grateful that you wake up, perfect. That's a very good start. I think that's important. So yeah, let's backtrack. Relationships. I think it's important because I think it defines most of our life. I think it defines how we grow as an individual. I think it determines very key events in your life. And the universe is truly very big. And in the grand scheme of things, we as humans don't really matter. What matters is if your relationships are healthy enough to the point where it doesn't give you any moments of sabotaging your own self-worth, which could hinder your, you know, time in developing confidence, which can lead you depression. Um, a lot of times, most people they take other people's words too seriously in relationships, and they overreact. But I think more importantly, I think you should focus on yourself. And just because a person's words might hurt you or a person's actions might hurt you, I think ultimately when you choose yourself and you regain that confidence and you learn to truly understand yourself, what you need, what you want in life, I think that's more important than anything, regardless of what anyone says in those relationships. So even though relationships are truly important, important. I think the most important relationship is with yourself. That's part 2. I'll see you in part 3.